Chapter 14. Tranquility. This section consists of only 4 verses and can be considered as a sacred psalm on peace, wherein the infinite peace of the transcendental state is invoked and glorified. Mind is a thought flow. In a liberated in life, there can be no desires, as he is experiencing in his own self the infinite fullness. And since he has no desires, he has no thoughts. Naturally, he becomes of an empty mind, void mind, shunya chitta. One whose mind is thus completely dissolved in the voiceless experience of the infinite is asleep to the world of objects and its enchantments. He is awake only to the spiritual world of this peaceful self. Janaka concludes this section by declaring that such an awakened man of wisdom can be fully understood only by another, who, like him, has experienced the same state of pure consciousness. Janaka said,
"He indeed has his recollections of worldly life extinguished, who becomes void-minded spontaneously, who thinks of sense objects only by chance, and who is, as it were, awake, though physically asleep."
Language can never express experiences beyond the physical level, and, therefore, wherever mystic sages have tried to communicate their subtle transcendental spiritual experiences, they have always stammered through their brimful descriptions. Here is a typical example wherein Janaka is trying to explain the inner condition and the outer behavior of one whose mind has become still and empty of all thought movements, shunya chitta. The memories of past experiences in the world of objects, recorded in our personality for future reference, are called vasanas. It is these vasanas that produce fresh impulses of desires which procreate the mental and the physical disturbances in the individual ego. The man of perfection is one who has gone beyond his vasanas, and, therefore, he is described here as one who has extinguished all his worldly memories. This state of vasanalessness is a state of utter mental stillness in supreme meditation. And this state of total mental poise is gained by a man of realization spontaneously, without any conscious effort, prakritya. Even though he is constantly in the vivid experience of the infinite reality, as long as his physical body exists, forced by its prarabdha, he will be involuntarily forced into some fields of sense objects. He goes through the world of happenings as though one who is asleep to the enjoyments of the world around him. He is aware and supremely awake only to the state of God consciousness. This is not a mental state that has been reached through pills or drugs, nor is it achieved through effort and yoga. One who is established in his spiritual awareness, to him this is a spontaneous vision, constant and effortless. He only becomes casually conscious of the world of plurality, a beautiful disturbance, dim and distant, on the horizon of his infinite bliss.
When once the desires have melted away, where are my riches? Where are my friends? Where are the thieves in the form of sense objects? Nay, where are the scriptures and knowledge itself?
Riches, dhanani, friends, mitrani, scriptures, shastram, knowledge, vijnanam, are all of great value for one's security, comfort, and satisfaction while living as an ego amidst the sense objects. As an ego, when we are living in the world, no doubt, sense objects with their powerful enchantments can steal into our bosom and plunder away our peace and tranquility, our discrimination and understanding, even our education and culture. True, very, very true. But when desires have melted away, to one who has thus come to experience the infinite blissful self, of what value are these external scaffoldings, riches, friends, scriptures, or knowledge, which hold together for us our illusory world of pleasure and pains? To one who has realized the self, of what value are the scriptures? Of what use is knowledge? spiritual as well as secular. This same idea is much more poetically put in the Bhagavad Gītā. To the Brahmana, who has known the self, all the Vedas are of so much use as is a reservoir of water in a place where there is flood everywhere.
As I have realized the Supreme Self, who is the witness and the Lord, the Purusa, and have become indifferent both to bondage and liberation, I now feel no anxiety for my emancipation.
In this four-versed chant upon the sense of infinite tranquility, Shanti Katustaya, Janaka is trying to communicate to us why this spiritual state is so peaceful, and how this state of tranquility is never disturbed by the usual storms from the worlds of the body, mind, and intellect. The Supreme Self, the pure consciousness, is ever illumining as a witness of all that is happening within and without. Sakshi Purusa. It is the one enlivening presence which orders, governs, regulates all activities of the whole universe, and as such is the Lord of the universe, Shvara. On rediscovering that this is the seeker's own divine nature, he becomes indifferent to both bondage and liberation. Liberation is only for one who is in bondage. To the liberated, there can be neither the sorrows of bondage nor the bliss of liberation. Being already emancipated from the sorrowful world, constituted by his own passions of the body, emotions of the mind, and agitations of the intellect, the man of realization cannot have even the anxiety for liberation. This state of infinite peace can never be comprehended by us, as the instruments of comprehension that we have at this moment are incapable of conceiving dimensions of the infinite. By a teaspoon, can we ever empty an entire ocean? Can limited mind comprehend the unthinkable self and its peace infinite?
The different conditions of a wise man, who, devoid of any thoughts within, outwardly roams about at his own pleasure like a deluded man, can only be understood by those like him.
The man of perfection, established in the higher planes of consciousness, has transcended his mind, and, therefore, his mind is silent and void of all thoughts, shunya chitta. Naturally, he is free of all hesitations, doubts, uncertainties, and confusions. He lives thereafter the spontaneous life divine. In him there is no ego sense at all. No social or political or religious laws are applicable to him. He lives careless of the consequences. He wants nothing, needs nothing. He has no demands, no desires. He is full in himself. He has become the native of the divine fields of consciousness. He is only a temporary sojourner amidst us. Thus lived all men of wisdom as guiding light for their generations, but at the same time, apparently, a threatening danger to the existing social rules, political systems, religious traditions, always a law unto themselves. How can such a man be judged except by men of equal vision and therefore of equal evolution? It is not in every man of realization that we find a definite clue to their inward illumination in their outward behavior. Such a man of realization is extolled in Yoga Vasistha. One who has unveiled the truth in himself sits ever contented in enjoying the nectar of his own infinite peace, his mind and intellect completely at rest, with no inner thought disturbances, reveling in his own real nature.